Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Today we're going to be looking at the top 10 weapons in Apex Legends Season 6. Now I'm going to go from 10 to 1 based on a number of things. My own experience with these weapons in game and their stats, which I've calculated myself in the firing range. So we have a lot of evidence to go off this time, and I think that it's going to make the most well-rounded top 10 list in a season where the weapon meta is just absolutely crazy. It's a complete mess right now, and there's a lot of opinions going around that may not exactly be correct. So this definitive list is going to set the record straight and showcase the 10 best weapons in Apex Legends. There is some opinion in here, but I think we'd all agree these are the 10 best weapons. I have put them in a particular order, and you can leave your own thoughts below if you agree or disagree with this order. Now, we're going to get straight into this list, starting with the R301 at number 10. Now, the R301 has a DPS of 196, making it one of the weakest DPSs in this list. However, as an AR, it has some potential because of that 2x headshot multiplier, which SMGs do not have. You can also stick high magnification scopes, which makes it a little bit more useful long range. And as we go into the time to kill, you can see that it's pretty decent, but it's definitely lacking a little bit from some of the other options in this list. Overall, the R301 is a decent weapon. The aim down sight speed is a little less. Because it's an assault rifle, the speed you can move whilst aiming down sights is slower than SMGs, pistols and Mastiffs. And because the time to kill is so low in this season, I personally believe that movement is going to be even more important, so that you're missing more shots than you're dealing out. Because one missed shot is going to mean so much more when you have less health. So yes, the R301 is a great weapon, but it is at number 10 on this list because pretty much every other weapon after it is a lot better. Next we have the Flatline, which has a 196 DPS as well. However, it does 19 damage per shot. So with that 2x headshot multiplier, you're doing a total of 38 damage instead of the R301's 28 damage. That means, yes, you have a slower firing weapon here, but overall the DPS is the same, so it basically means that getting those shots off long range really matter more with the Flatline. It's going to feel more impactful. As you can see here, the shots per second is lower on the Flatline, but if you're just shooting semi-auto or just trying to hit shots long range, Flatline is going to be more useful, and at the end of the day, that's kind of where an assault rifle comes in handy. Once again, it is an assault rifle, so the movement speed whilst aiming down sights isn't as great as other weapons, but you can see the time to kill is pretty even with the R301 trading places here and there. At number 8 we have the Mastiff. Now I've put all of the stats here as NA because it's kind of hard to measure a DPS on a shotgun because you do different damage each shot because of how the pellets work. However, it is the most impactful shotgun in the game, and you can do 100 damage, which is enough to down a player as soon as they drop. And with the way the armor has changed, it's going to be even more impactful. High damage shots are going to just destroy people in this game now until the armor changes may be reverted. At number 7 we have the Hemlok. Now the Hemlok is one of the better assault rifles in the game, and a lot of people have been saying that the burst is really good now, and that is very true. The burst has had a recoil reduction, meaning when you burst with it, it's almost like there's no recoil at all, honestly, and this is devastating. If you get a headshot with one of these bursts, it can absolutely wreck a player, and I definitely think it's one of the better assault rifles now. Actually, the best assault rifle before, well, we'll get into the energy weapons in a minute. The Hemlok single fire is also very strong and very effective at taking down players quickly at long range. Because you can spam fire it so fast and there's relatively no recoil, it's essentially a long ranged laser beam. However, despite it having a very high damage per shot, the shots per second, even on burst, is quite significantly lower than the other assault rifles which have full auto. It makes sense, and that kind of lends itself into a higher time to kill for most instances. However, if you can get those headshots off, it really doesn't matter so much. So yes, the Hemlok is all about bursting those headshots and just wrecking players instantly. So if you want to use this weapon, you want to be aiming for headshots to really get its full potential, so you get that extra headshot multiplier damage going in its favor. Next we have the triple take. Once again, it's kind of hard to measure the DPS of a sniper rifle. However, the triple take now has the choke on by default. The shots per second have been increased, and the magazine size per magazine level has also been increased. The triple take is a monster now. Double that with the fact that the time to kill has dropped because all of the armor has gone down one level essentially, and the triple take is a nightmare to deal with. You can pick it up off spawn, zoom in at someone that may have dropped a little bit far away from you, and shoot them down with 1 or 2 shots. And the triple take is really great because it has a very interesting spread pattern, and it's never variable. It always sticks to this specific pattern. If you're crouching, it has this pattern. If you're standing up and moving, it has a different pattern. So even up close, as long as you're just crouching when you fire, you're being able to do incredible damage without getting that really slow sniper movement speed that happens when you aim down sights with snipers. So it's pretty great up close. All you need to do is hip fire and crouch, and you're going to win a lot of fights with this thing. Now, one of the reasons why the triple take is in this list and no other sniper is because it has a very fast bullet travel time, which means what you're aiming at is most likely what you're going to be hit. This is the case with pretty much every energy weapon in the game. And yes, the triple take is an energy weapon. Before the sniper ammo thing came in, it was energy, so that's why it has such a fast fire rate. Of course, the charge rifle is also very powerful too. I considered putting that in this list, but it doesn't really have that same up close potential that the triple take has. Now, next we are with the Havoc. Now, here's the thing with the Havoc, right? They're going to make the turbocharger pretty rare, so we got to consider that you're not always going to have a turbocharger. However, if you do get a turbocharger on the Havoc, it has the highest time to kill in the game. For no matter what armor you have, it has the highest time to kill in the game, sometimes tying with the Devotion turbocharger. However, the Havoc is an AR, so you have a bit more movement speed whilst aiming down sights than you do with the Devotion, which is an LMG. Once again, movement's important in this patch. However, it's not ranked higher than some of the other options in this list because once again, you're not always going to get that turbocharger, and without the turbocharger, and if you account for that charge up time, the DPS drops quite significantly, and the time to kill becomes the worst in this list. For any other weapon, it is the worst without a turbocharger. Moving on, we have the Devotion. The Devotion, even with its recent nerf, has a disgusting time to kill. It has the second fastest time to kill after the Havoc. However, it has a massive magazine size, and to kind of go in the Devotion's favor, if you do not have a turbocharger, it still fires straight away, just a little bit slower. And with my testing, the no turbocharger Devotion has a time to kill that's sometimes faster than the SMGs in this list, which will be the higher ranked weapons. For example, a 200 health player will go down in 1.01 seconds with the Devotion with no turbocharger. The Prowler and the Vault have higher time to kill for this health amount. However, if we look at 100 health, the Devotion with no turbocharger knocks down players in 0.54 seconds, whereas a Prowler can do it in 0.51. So you can see here why the SMGs are ranked higher. And obviously, what's most special about the SMGs is you have a very fast movement speed whilst aiming down sights, and the hip fire is really decent, so you don't really need to aim down sights once you're in SMG range. So yeah, I'm favoring movement speed here a lot over other things, and I think that you can agree with me. Good strafing, crouching, dodging bullets is going to be so important in a season where time to kill is so low. Next we have the Prowler. Yes, I ranked the Prowler before the Vault, and I'll explain why. I already did a Prowler and Vault comparison video, and people are saying the Prowler burst has a higher time to kill than the Prowler. Now here's the thing, I did the testing, and to be honest, the DPS was exactly the same. The Prowler burst and the Prowler full auto had the exact same DPS. I tested it multiple times, and this is with me spamming my spacebar as much as possible. In an actual game, I'm never going to be able to do that, honestly. So yeah, I think they're pretty much neck and neck in terms of DPS, time to kill for both the Prowler full auto and burst. So yeah, you may want to test it yourself to see how it feels. Regardless of that, both the Prowler and the Prowler burst kind of go neck and neck with the Vault time to kill. If a player has 200 health, the Prowler wins. If the player has 175 health, it's a draw between all weapons. If it's 150, Prowler wins again. 125, the Vault wins. And 100, the Prowler wins. So overall, I'd say in most cases, you're going to knock someone quicker with the Prowler than you are with the Vault. So why then is the Vault ranked at number 2 instead of number 3 in this list? Well, despite it having a very slight slower time to kill than the Prowler, like every other energy weapon, you can fire this thing and it's going to have such fast bullet travel time, which makes it very effective at longer distances. Go into a game and wait for someone to go on a zipline and you'll see weapons like the Devotion, the Havoc, the Charge Rifle, and the Vault are the easiest to shoot zipline players or people going on a jump tower because the bullets don't travel very slowly. Take the Prowler instead and you'll see it's very hard to do. That bullet travel time makes it so easy to track players at long distance, and even at a close distance at say like 25 meters, the bullets are going to hit your target sooner than they would on the Prowler, which may or may not put the DPS in the Vault's favor in some cases. The Vault also has a ridiculously good recoil pattern, ridiculously good. I do like to practice the recoil patterns of weapons and I'm pretty good at some of them, but the Vault is so easy to master. You can literally make this recoil pattern so tight that it's just unbelievable. You can wreck with this weapon with just a tiny bit of practice. It's very strong. So that leaves number 1 in this list. We have the Wingman at number 1. Now the Wingman is at number 1 for a couple of reasons. Firstly, when you aim down sights and move, your movement speed is the same as if you were hip firing. Great for being able to stay mobile whilst being accurate so you can dodge more bullets from enemies. That's a great thing. Second thing, it's a very high damage per shot. The DPS and kind of time to kill is hard to measure because you're not necessarily going to be firing as fast as possible with the Wingman. Sometimes you want to pace your shots and actually be accurate, but that high damage per shot is really going to go very well, especially with the lower time to kill. High damage per shot weapons are just going to absolutely wreck people with 100 or 125 health. So yeah, it's just such a great weapon for taking down players quickly. High damage really benefits it. Not only that, but the Wingman is really effective at a long range. Why? Because you can aim down sights and strafe back and forth very fast, which is something, let's say there's someone with an AR or a sniper at long range strafing back and forth, their strafe pattern and their movement is going to be very little, meaning it's actually going to be easier for you in some cases to hit your shots on that sniper player than it is for them to hit you, even if you have a 2 times. So if you can practice using the Wingman and just spamming at long range, you're going to be very good at this game. It's just such a great weapon for these reasons. So that is my list, the top 10 weapons in Apex Legends based on their time to kill, their overall weapon profile, their recoil, and of course their movement speed whilst aiming down sights. So we have this list. I think this is the ultimate list this season. I do think it could potentially change if some nerfs come to the Devotion and maybe the Vault, but we'll have to wait and see. So leave your own feedback below. If you made your own list, how would you rank the weapons? Let me know. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio! Did you know I stream almost every day from 7 PM UK time or 11 AM Pacific Standard Time? You can catch me live right here on YouTube, so make sure you have notifications turned on. I also have a new members program. Become a member for $2.99 a month, get your comments highlighted in videos, get a cool badge in live stream chat, get access to these cute emotes, and also gain access to my members tips videos, where you can ask me for any tips and I'll be making new videos weekly to help you improve your own game. Click the join button or click the link in the video description to get involved.